Came up from nothing, my nigga, I had to go get it. I made it survive in the rain. Came to make something, my nigga, and all of my niggas I know.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to an episode of the GinTV podcast. As always, your boy EAZY.
And A1DasauceGod.
And as always, we got a very, very special guest. We got another athlete in the building today. We got Mustapha Heron in the building.
How you guys doing?
We're
Yeah,
good.
pretty good, man.
And before we get into today's episode, I know you don't drink, but
On occasion.
on occasions. So today's an occasion. Thank you for,
Yeah, we definitely
we're
appreciate
gonna
you coming out, man.
try the Smirnoff Seltzer. So let's
It's my first time seeing this, man.
Same.
all right.
I'm fucking with it.
Fucking with it.
I'm fucking with it.
It's all right. Back
All
in the
right.
day, I'd drink it
Back in the day.
for sure.
All right, 1 out of 10. What would you get?
It's like a 7. It
A
tastes
7.
like
That's pretty high, man.
Nah, yeah, word. It tastes like really a blue raspberry lemonade for real.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's pretty good.
I'm gonna give it a 6, a soft 6.
Really?
Yeah,
So better than
Better than the Ciroc one.
The
Better than
Ciroc
the
ones?
Ciroc one.
I
It's a
don't know, I
good
think
summer drink.
These
Yeah,
are
I
like par and
feel-
par. I think
What?
like, mine is par and par, like literally neck and neck.
But you get all right. You fuck with it.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you don't drink anymore, right?
Mm-mm.
What was the changing factor for you to stop drinking?
I mean, I started like early in college, like, regular just going out.
Yeah.
Threw up a couple times, and it was kind of over after that. That was it.
Oh, so it wasn't like no like life awakening.
Nah,
shit,
no,
like,
I'm not really a
my
fan of
body's
throwing up.
a temple type.
I mean, at the same time, I like to try to be as healthy as possible,
Okay.
but yeah, it was
It's just
more
the
like
feeling of throwing up that like
Yeah.
pushed you over.
Yeah.
Yo, so I always find people that can go through life without drinking or smoking or just doing any type of other substance to be the roughest motherfuckers on earth. Cause like, yo, y'all are just going through like life, like raw dogging.
There's no
Shit.
chill. Yeah, there's no chill.
Yo, cause shit is tough out here.
No
like living
lube,
is tough.
nigga.
Do you have any other vices that helps you kind of get through?
I've dabbled and dabbled in cannabis.
Okay.
I've done mushrooms before.
All
That's
right.
pretty much that's it. I don't mess. I've never done like anything like pills or anything like that. Nah. Even when I had surgery, I didn't even take any perks or none of that stuff. I don't like.
So, yeah, when's the first time you did shrooms?
My junior year of college.
Like what, yo? Cause I've never done it. I
Mhm.
want to do it, but like
Really?
I'm just, you know what it is, yo? I'm really just scared. I'm gonna be like that fucking dude that like just trips all
Start
the way
licking,
out.
mean,
licking
it's all
telephone
mental.
poles and shit.
Nah, that's crazy. It's all mental though. It's
Like
it's
how
all
was
mental.
your first time? Like, did you trip?
Yeah, it was dope. Honestly, it was me and my ex-girlfriend. I mean, it was dope. We saw like the visuals was crazy. We were like walking through a park. I mean, it was dope. It was dope.
Did y'all fuck on it?
Yeah.
Like was it like extra like
Crazy.
like
I heard it's like overwhelming when like you fuck on mushrooms.
bro?
Yeah, like it's just like too much sensory shit going on. Like it's like
Nah.
sensory overload.
Nah, not
Nah?
really. Nah.
Like what? Like you squirt instead of her? Like what do you mean? Like
I don't know, nigga. Like I think I wasn't the one to fucking do it, so I was just told like, it's just too much shit's going on. Like it was just like too much to focus on. Like
all right. So, for y'all that don't know, you're a pro basketball player, right?
Mhm.
So, when was the first time like you picked up a basketball or got into basketball?
I was 2 years old. My father
like
put
young.
a basketball in my hand. Yeah.
So your father, put
Yep.
basketball. In
He played in college. He played at Central Connecticut State University.
Okay.
He played overseas for a couple years. England, Poland. I think he spent some time in like the Russia area. I'm pretty sure, but yeah.
So, do you feel like you chose basketball or did he choose it for you?
He definitely persuaded me, and then every boy wants to be like their father growing up.
Yeah.
He kind of persuaded me to play basketball, put it in my hand early, but then eventually it starts to take over for itself. I think that at a young age you'll find out if you like something or not, and then as you get older you'll find out if you love it or not. And obviously I love it. So
Was there ever a point in your life where like you didn't like you weren't sure, like, and you kind of felt like, because I know,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, like a father-son relationship can be difficult just in a
Yeah.
regular situation, right? But when you add sports into it, it's like
amplifies it,
amplified,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
Because even with me, right? Like I was
Mhm.
big into track and cross country when I was in high school, and I
Mhm.
got a son now, so I'm like kind of trying to push him towards it, right? And I see he doesn't really care for it.
Yeah.
So it's like tough, like seeing that shit, and it's like, cause I don't want to ruin our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Cause I've seen like a lot of well, basketball players like talk about their fathers like, you know, forcing them to play ball, and they just kind of like resent them for it. Like, have you ever like experienced that part where he was like pushing you too hard?
Oh yeah, when I was young, I used to cry to my mom all the time when I was young. Like, yo, daddy pushed me too hard. He doing this, he doing that. But I definitely, even when I was young, I understood what it was for. I understood the passion that he had for basketball, and it obviously he instilled it in me. But yeah, I definitely had my situations where we kind of butted heads and all that. It happened a lot, actually.
Like,
But
if you had to go back, would you change anything?
not a thing.
Really?
No. Not a thing.
You think the way how hard he pushed you definitely
Yeah, it was.
impacted you.
I mean, a lot of basketball, it relates to life, and a lot of the things that he was teaching me through basketball was just discipline in life,
Right.
how to just do certain things.
Yeah.
And like I said, it all relates and it translates.
You know, that's I feel like that's like one of the biggest like life lessons amongst anything, you know.
Mhm.
I feel like you kind of really have to find like the happy medium between like pushing your kids and also like, you know, knowing when to back off. I feel like at some points, like your kids are extremely young. Like they're not gonna want to do that. They're gonna want to fucking play Fortnite with their friends or like go play sports with their friends or, you know, recreational sports. But you kind of gotta like, you know, really get behind them because you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure.
Like, I don't know. Same thing with me growing up. Like, you know, I used to play instruments growing up, and like my mom like forced me to do that. Well, I kind of wanted to, but then after a while, I hated it. But she was already paying for it, so then she was like, "You gotta see it through."
What instrument you play?
Piano.
I played the trombone when I was in middle school.
Really?
Yeah, for 4 years in middle school.
Yeah.
Like by choice?
Oh yeah, I went to an arts magnet school in New Haven. I went to Betsy Ross Arts
Okay,
Magnet,
okay.
so we had to do like, you know, band, chorus, dance,
All right,
all
okay,
different. So I trombone.
Yeah,
I was
right.
nice too.
Yo, cause I remember like I think I was watching an interview with Penny Hardaway Jr.
Mhm.
and he was like, I think it was his dad or just Penny Hardaway. I think he was
Yeah.
talking about like how he had to back off his son who's like in the NBA now, right?
Mhm.
But like he was just like, yo, like he was starting to hate me
Yeah.
because I'm like that like you go to like a kids games like nowadays, bro. Like I bet you see it like when you go to like on the training camps or something like
Yo.
that. I know you'd probably be seeing these fucking parents like lose their shit.
When I was young, and all my friends can attest to this, like my teammates when I was young, my dad had this whistle, like not like a physical whistle, it was like one of those. It didn't matter where he was at in the gym. It didn't matter if there was, I'd have been in arenas like my freshman year, it's 20,000 people in the arena, and I can hear that whistle, and I'm looking exactly where he's at. Like, so that just give you a little insight of
What did
it
that
was
whistle
like.
signify?
It could be
Like, get it
anything. Like
together.
you fucking up. Hey, shit. It used to be like when I used to miss layups when I was young. My dad used to make me do push-ups. Like he used to. It didn't matter. We used to be North End Rec preseason games in high school. It's packed in there. Sacred Heart versus Crosby. I missed maybe 3-4 layups in the first half, or try to dunk on somebody, missed it. 30 push-ups in front of everybody in the rec.
Mid game, like
No, at halftime. So it's
Oh.
like everybody's still seeing you. Like
damn.
that's
I tell
crazy
you what, that
shit.
make you never want to miss a layup though.
Yo, so second half is like.
Get your fucking shit together.
But
like.
even then, it was the dudes that I was playing against, like my peers, like y'all got hell coming. Because I'm mad at my dad right now, so I can't take it out on him. So
Yeah.
now it's your turn, like, and that's how high school was for me.
That's crazy. But the crazy thing is, like, I never really played. I played sports for a little bit. Like, I played football for a little bit. But I see on Facebook like the high school fucking basketball games, and like the parents be like going at it. I think at one point in time, like two parents were about to fight, like or literally arguing with the kid, and then about to fight each other. Over
Bro,
it.
it's tough.
It's crazy.
It's tough watching your own kid like not do good.
Yeah, that.
Yo,
I
especially
think they were doing good. I
Yo,
think they was like
nah.
busting the other one's
Yo,
ass.
especially
like.
if you weren't, if you were a good player yourself, like if you like at the sport your kids in, and you see them like being a bum,
and they're not as.
That's crazy.
yo, I mean, imagine how Michael Jordan must fucking feel, bro. All his kids suck.
I actually never seen his son play. Or any of his
Exactly.
kids.
Exactly.
Damn.
That's my point. And he played college ball
Crazy
too.
thing is, I didn't even know
Where
they
he
fucking.
played
I didn't
at?
even know they played.
It was a D1 school. He played though. He wasn't as tall. Like just
Okay.
completely irrelevant player.
I didn't even know they
I didn't
played.
think he
to be
allowed him to wear
honest with
Jordans, yo. I made that up.
Nah.
You wear Adidas, bum.
I mean, but on the flip side, like look at LeBron and Bronny, like you know them two going at it, you know, and he's pushing Bronny pretty hard, but it's like paying off in the end.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like it's two sides to the coin. You know, you can obviously push him and break him, or you could push him and make him stronger.
Yeah.
I think it's tough, yo, because like especially if you're like that great of a player,
Mm-hmm.
like that pressure that falls onto your kid is fucking nuts. I
Yeah.
mean, yo, did you feel like the pressure from like compared to your dad? Like up like at same age, right?
Mhm.
Do you think you could have beat your dad on the one? Like, were you a better player than your dad at the same age?
Oh, my dad didn't start playing basketball until he was like 16 or 17.
Oh, he's old.
He's from Jamaica. He moved there I think at like 12 or 13. He played soccer for a little while.
Okay.
And then he started playing like his junior year, and he just worked. Literally, he told me he worked out like 4:30 in the morning, like at lunchtime. Then he would go after school. Then he would go late at night, and he did that every day for like 2 years.
Oh, he like fell in love with
Yeah.
it.
Then he got it like he was supposed to go to Oak Hill, but my grandparents they
Oak Hill?
didn't. Yeah, they did. Oak Hill's a military academy, and they didn't want him going to a military
Okay.
school, so they just told him like, nah, you got to go straight to college instead of going to prep school. So he ended up going to Central. But he was getting recruited by like St. John's. Mark Jackson actually took him on his official visit.
Mark Jackson from the
Yeah.
the word like the
Mhm.
the Warriors.
Yeah, he told me. He was telling me a story. He said when he took him on the visit, the host of the recruit always gets money to take the recruit out to eat, whatever club,
Yeah.
bar, whatever. So he said that Mark took the money that UCONN II, the coach, gave him, and he went and put speakers in his car. So he said my dad was like, yo, his whole visit, he was in the shop with Mark, like while he's putting speakers in his car. So he's like, I'm definitely not going to St. John's.
That's crazy. That is wild as fuck.
That sounds about Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
That sounds
crazy.
about
I don't
him.
even know this guy. That sounds shady
He
as
was,
hell.
he was
bro.
the coach for the Warriors before like they took off. He's an announcer now.
Uh-huh.
Yo, that's crazy though.
Yo,
He took the money, put
yo,
speaker
he,
in his car.
he probably
Like,
took him to
that's
McDonald's.
crazy.
Yo, because
Probably didn't even take him nowhere.
Probably not.
yo, I'm like,
They
'cause
chilled in the shop.
I'm always assuming like if you're a star like player and they're trying to recruit you, it's like you ever seen he got game, right?
Yeah.
Remember when they took Ray Allen to the fucking college? It was like Rick Fox took him around, right?
Yup.
And he just like brought him around, showing him around. He just brought him to this fucking dorm with like mad white bitches, like just you know what I'm saying? Like you already knew what it was.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Actually, it's funny. I only went on the only official visit I went on was to Auburn. I took like 4 officials because I was committed already, so I took 4 officials to Auburn.
Actually, yo, but
And-
another trip before we even get to your college thing. So, how was your high school career? Where'd you go to high school?
Sacred Heart and Waterbury. High
What-
school was great.
What made you pick that high school, or did your
Uh,
dad kind of pick it?
I went to 3 different high schools. A lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people know I went to 2 different high schools. So
Okay.
my freshman year I started off at Capital Prep in Hartford.
Okay.
And that school is a charter school. You go to school for 10 months out the year. You start school
Do
in
you sleep there?
No. It's a day school, and you
Okay.
start in July, and that's which is also on the flip side the heaviest part of the AAU season where coaches are recruiting you, and there's a lot of traveling and stuff. So you start in July, go to August, and then you get like a week break at the end of August, and then you start in September with everybody else, and then you keep going until June, and you just do it like that.
Right.
And I couldn't do that for 4 years. I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities, I felt like. So I ended up transferring and going to a prep school, Wilbraham and Munson Academy in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And I was there for about a little over a year. And then at my I just didn't feel like I was, I kind of missed home. I was young. I was like 14 at the time going there, living away from home. And then I just kind of missed that connection, like working out that I had with my dad, like that every day. We're in the gym or grinding like that. So I came back, went to Sacred Heart, and finished my high school career out there. So.
Also,
My sophomore year.
So sophomore year, did you play at Sacred Heart?
Yep. And we
You guys-
won.
You guys won the championship, right?
Won the state
Didn't you
championship.
it was like three in a row.
3 in a row. Yep. 3 in a row.
Did you start all 3 seasons?
Yeah, I was I averaged 25 my sophomore year, like 28 junior year, and then 30 or 31 my senior year.
Damn, that was
Yeah,
killing it.
Yeah, I had 2,100 points or something like that.
Oh yeah,
3
the
years.
pussy was in abundance.
In high school, no, I mean, I was doing okay for myself.
You doing all right?
I was doing okay.
Nah, you know what? You know what? Actually, you know what I remember about like,
which is not good. It's not good.
It could have been better.
No, I'm saying that's not you're not supposed to be doing shit like that in high school. You're supposed to be keeping your head straight and narrow.
I mean,
yo, that's
nah.
that's why your athletic career went farther than mine.
You obviously you're gonna talk to girls and stuff, but you ain't supposed to.
But you're fortunate in a way. Like
Mhm.
obviously your dad probably like you said you guys clash,
Mm-hmm.
but having a dad that's on you like that, bro, keeps you so fucking focused.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because, yo, you know one thing I've always noticed, and it's like Waterbury, right, has good ass ball players.
Oh,
Yo,
for
like,
sure.
Bro,
Yeah.
like I say like even like a trash player here goes like out of state, like they're good.
Yeah.
Like it's like, this is like a small city, but like
Mhm. Hoopers out here.
it's Hooper, right?
Hoopers for
Mhm.
sure.
But for some reason, like there's so many hoopers that like people think like, all right, this guy's going to like D1 college, like he's getting a bid somewhere, right? Turn into trap dealer. Like I don't know what this obsession
It
is.
ain't
There's
just here.
so
It's
many.
everywhere.
What?
It's everywhere. It ain't just here. It's everywhere. Everywhere in the country. It's like I got teammates in college. They tell me all the time, like they friends from back home. It's everywhere. It's
Yo,
it's
did
a
you-
mentality.
Are there any players like that were with you at Sacred Heart that you like feel like could have gone farther, but like they just didn't?
Nah, everybody pretty much did what they were supposed to do. The only person I played with him my junior year, Malik Petaway, he actually had some health problems that but he great kid. He's not, definitely class act type of kid.
Oh, so no one turned into
Nah,
like, a
nah,
trap
for
dealer.
sure, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
yeah, maybe that's the fucking good thing about going to a private school. I tell you,
Nah, that's nah. It still happens at private school.
yo, because I remember like a lot of players like at the other schools in
Mhm.
Waterbury, right? Like had great seasons, like good ass players.
Come from good backgrounds.
Yo,
too.
come from
Mhm.
good backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yo, a year and a half later, you just see them like
Yeah.
selling crack, like just like.
not even
Yo.
weed, just straight crack. They go straight to crack.
They skip weed, yo.
They moving weight ASAP.
Yo, and you know how weird it is to be like 6'6" selling crack? Like it's a
You're noticeable, my nigga.
Nah, word. Nah, yeah, that. Nah.
yo. The drug game is for short people. Yo, like I'm built
Nah,
for
I feel
drugs.
you, though.
I'm built to sell drugs physically. Like I'm in and out. You not seeing
Yeah.
me. Yo, like you think about it. Like
Nah,
imagine
hell
this dude
nah,
selling
it's not
heroin.
happening. Nah, it's
Yeah,
not
he's getting
happening.
picked up.
He's 5
It's
feet
not
above
happening.
everybody else.
Yeah, nah, you gonna.
Oh,
pick
he
it
was
up.
very tall. How many
So
very
dumb.
tall people go to like or in a certain group of people?
Yeah,
like it's
so
not
dumb.
too often,
So all right,
and not too much.
I know you said you committed early, right?
Yeah.
Was there like is that the school you really wanted to go to, or is that just like one that kind of just gave you like a good offer?
No, I was actually my sophomore year of high school. I was committed to the University of Pittsburgh,
Okay.
but Jamie Dixon, he was the coach at the time. He ended up getting fired, and he went to TCU. So when he got fired, I opened my recruitment back up,
Okay.
and so that's going into my junior year. Played my whole junior year getting recruited. I was getting recruited by literally everybody, like everybody in the country. And
Is
then
there any schools that you like kind of feel like you missed out on? Like, damn, I kind of should have went there.
Nah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with my college career.
Okay.
But nah, I don't feel like I missed out on any schools.
Because you transferred out, right?
Yeah, I left St. John's. I mean, I left Auburn to go to St. John's, but that was my mom was having health problems. She had like a huge concussion that she was dealing with for over like a year. So it was going into my sophomore year. So my sophomore year, I was going home during the season. I'm going back and forth, and it was just kind of like I'm going Alabama, Connecticut.
Okay.
And it didn't make sense to be down that far anymore, down south. So I just went back up north. There was only a few schools that I could go to because I had to get something called the hardship waiver, and there's like you have to be within a 90-mile radius of your address.
Okay.
So my address, being in Waterbury, it was only high major that we had was St. John's. I could have went to Providence, but it was like 105 miles away.
All right.
So
Providence,
I probably
that's where
wouldn't have got the waiver.
Ryan Gomes went, right?
Yeah, he went to
Okay.
yeah.
All right, can I ask you something? Why is it that like really good ball players like yourself, right, out of Connecticut, don't go to UConn?
Honestly, I heard like UConn wasn't recruiting Connecticut kids for a little while. Like,
So you think it's more them than like the actual players? Like,
yeah, honestly, we got a lot of talent. Even think when Jim Calhoun, remember when Ryan Gomes killed them in the, I think it was in the Big East tournament. He was like, I should have recruited them. It was like that whole rant that he went on. Like I think it was a time they wasn't really recruiting Connecticut kids.
why do you think that is? Like, that's such a weird thing. Cause like, these people
crazy.
I think isn't Andre Drummond from like Middletown?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he ended up going to UConn, I think, for like a year, right?
Did he?
Yeah, he went to UConn for like
Okay.
a year. Because I think he graduated early, and then from there he went to the NBA.
they got that other dude. I think he plays for Boston now. I think he's out of New Haven.
Tremont Waters. He went to LSU.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, in my situation, like, I didn't want to be.
You just wanted out of Connecticut.
I wanted to go far away from my dad. Like, I wanted to.
For real?
Yeah.
No, you wasn't that 14-year-old kid no more.
Yeah,
He said, I want to
I'm like,
be
yeah,
away.
I'm gonna go.
Or was it like I kind of need to like live my own life at this point?
Nah. I'm joking, but
Okay.
because he still was able to like come down to see me at school and stuff. But honestly, I just wanted to see a different walk of life. I was just like,
Yeah.
yo, like I either wanted to go to the West Coast or I wanted to go down south. I wanted to be somewhere it was hot because I hate the cold.
Okay.
And I just wanted to be somewhere where it's like, yo, I'm out here by myself and I got to kind of fend and kind of just
Gotta figure it
maneuver
out.
and shit. Yeah.
Gotta put them networking skills.
And I went
Sure.
deep
to work.
south to Auburn, Alabama, which just
Yo, was it like racist down there?
hell no.
Nah.
Shit was I loved Auburn. I didn't have
Really?
not
Yo,
one.
I'm like
racist
scared.
account,
Yo, I've
not
always
one.
kind of been scared to go to Alabama, yo.
Bro,
Like, I feel like that's one of them states they kind of tell you.
The North is more racist than the South.
You
bro.
for real?
I swear to God. Word. The North is more, at least from what I've experienced, the North is way more racist than the South. You get way more looks like from people that's not the same color, skin tone as you up north than down south.
Is
Yeah.
the college you went to like predominantly black or the community?
No, it was pretty mixed. It was definitely a lot more white kids than I won't say minorities. I mean black and
Right.
Spanish.
I don't know. I mean, so outside of basketball, like how was your college career, or how did you enjoy college? You know, that's one thing I regret is not going away to college. Like I stayed over here. I went to like community college for a bit, and then I ended up working right after that. Like I always wanted like to experience the college life. So what was that like for you?
College life was dope. I mean, living in the dorm my freshman year, we had like
Yo, did you get a full scholarship?
yeah, I was on I didn't.
Oh,
pay
so you know,
no money.
that's
to go
good.
to
That's
school,
dope. Like you have to pay.
Shit,
Even
even
out of state fees, yo. When you gotta pay.
even the prep school my freshman year that I was going to a high school, it was like $60,000 a year to go there. I didn't pay a dime.
A high school
Yeah.
for $60K?
Bro, the COO, I think the title is, of Samsung, his son lived down this hall from me. Like when I tell you this dude was having like them galaxies and shit before they was even like yeah.
Public public
Yeah.
knowledge type
like
shit.
his TV, them Samsung TVs and shit. Yeah, he was having all of that.
Oh, so he was like around some like the 1% type.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feel out of place like being around rich people like that?
Nah, because it was other kids that was coming from the same
Okay.
type of situation as me that was playing, that was athletes and stuff. Like my roommate was from Bermuda. Like I still talk to him to this day. Like he obviously in Bermuda, it's not like a bunch of rich people out there and stuff. So we was, we helped each other out and fending, all that type of stuff. So
Okay. So I know you said when in your second college was St. John, right?
Mhm.
You your senior year was kind of rough.
yeah.
So what was like what happened your senior year?
Honestly, my junior and senior year was rough because I battled a lot of injuries throughout my college career, but mostly when I was at St. John's, I battled a lot of injuries, and I finished senior year.
Was that your first time experiencing injuries like in your career, or did you have them like early on?
I had like little things like tendonitis and stuff.
Okay, yeah,
like in high school,
stuff you
like,
could just ice out.
like
Okay.
young injuries, but like actually like breaking stuff and having to sit out multiple games and like being in games on ESPN. I'm sitting on the bench and all that type of stuff. Yeah, college was the first time.
How do you like deal with that?
Like
do you lose hope a little bit, or are you just like, fuck, I know I'm coming back?
sometimes it will depend on what the injury is, and then honestly, it's depending on what the person is. I did for a little bit, like definitely battling back-to-back injuries for a little bit. You like, all right, is it over? Is it not? But I mean, mentally, I feel like I was strong enough to be like, nah, I could push through this shit, which I did. And
What's the longest period of time you had to sit out?
My ankle surgery that I had to get was like 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
During the season? Or
This was like, it started off during the end of my senior year, so there was probably like maybe 6 or 7 games left in the regular season of Big East play when I went and got surgery.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere around that. And then I went through the whole summer. This is like when COVID started hitting too, so I was through the whole. Oh my bad. I was through the whole summer, just in a boot, in a hard cast, all that type of stuff.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, I know he was motivated. Like, fuck it, if I don't go back, my dad's gonna kill me.
I gotta heal ASAP.
He will disown me. Yo, so I know you was telling me before that like you just because you kept getting like MRIs and stuff like that, right? And like they kind of kept telling you,
so
that, like it wasn't that big of an injury, right?
Basically, so I going into my senior year is the year 2019. I went and played in the Pan American games Basically, it's like the World Cup like qualifiers type of thing for just the countries in the Americas.
Who was on that team with you? Any big names?
It was basically what they do is they pick for those games specifically. They always bring a college team.
I know, but saying anybody that kind of went out.
Miles Powell, David Duke, he plays on the Brooklyn Nets now. Alpha Diallo, he plays EuroLeague. A lot of, I mean, I'm forgetting some of the names, but there was
Like some
all
legit players.
Yeah, all Big East guys. It was a great team, great group of guys. Learned a lot from them, had a lot of fun with them dudes. Like, and we all still keep in contact.
Right.
So definitely. But I was playing in a game out there, the game before the bronze medal game, or the semifinals actually. I turned my ankle and I turned it on the outside, and I couldn't finish playing in the tournament. I get the MRIs out there, but obviously I'm like, I'm gonna go back to school, have them recheck it, you know, go through the whole procedure. So I get back to school, have them do that. This is probably like the end of August. They tell me high ankle sprain or something along those lines, but ankle sprain. It's not that your ankle's broke or that you need
the sprain, like something. Like a month or so, just walk it off.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get in a little boot. I'll take the time off and I'll come back, be fine. Now it's about September, October-ish maybe. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to play. I'm playing on it. It's not feeling right. But I'm like, yo, the season's around the corner. So maybe if I just keep, pushing through.
Are you like communicating this with like the staff at this point?
Yeah. No, I'm telling them like, yo, like it don't feel right, but I'm going to keep trying to, play through it because you guys are telling me.
You're probably thinking like, I'm a little rusty anyway, right? Like, okay.
Maybe I just need to, work it out because they're telling me ankle sprain. It's not. So I'm like, okay, ankle sprain's not that bad. So now the season starts. We're about 10 games in, and I'm playing actually pretty well. I'm probably averaging like 20, 21 at this point.
This is at the Pan American.
No, this is in my senior year at St. John's.
Okay,
So
right.
I'm probably averaging about 21 through the first like 10 games.
Season.
I had 30 a couple times, couple 25-point games.
What do you play? What position do you play?
Two guard, 2-3. Yeah. So this is the 10th or 11th game of the season. We're playing against Brown. And I go up to block somebody's shot. I get the block, by the way, but I turned I turned my ankle on the inside, so the inside bone like completely is touching the ground, and it obviously it comes back and all that. And they tell me after I get those MRIs, you got a sprain on the inside. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll wait some time. I'm in a boot, whatever. So I was in a boot for about a month, and then I come back and I'm not playing, like I'm not moving well at all. I can't jump. I can't do anything. Even if you look at the film from my senior year, like I'm limping on the court, like making moves and trying, like I have no explosiveness. I couldn't dunk anymore. I couldn't do any of that type of stuff. Yeah, it was bad. So I called my AAU coach and I'm like, yo, is there any way that you can help me get like a second opinion for my foot? Because it's just
like, there's an AAU coach from like high school.
From high school,
So
yeah.
you still keep
yeah, for sure. All my coaches, I keep in contact with all my coaches. So I called him. I'm like, yo, can you help me out with this? So he sends me to, he gives me two doctors, and I go see both of them at separate times, and they both tell me the same thing. Whoever's trying to make you play is fucking you right now. Like,
really?
Yeah, that's literally what they both said to me. Like, and I'm like, all right, so I need to reevaluate what's going on.
Yeah.
So I take a couple of days, and then I go tell my coach, I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna call it. The first doctor, I ended up letting him do my surgery. So I ended up I tell my coach, like, yo, I'm calling it quits.
Not the doctor from the school.
No, not the doctor. I didn't let the school do. I didn't let
right?
the school do my surgery. No, I went right to somebody else.
Obviously, these dudes don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So I went to somebody else, did the surgery. He cleaned my whole foot up. Then I took that time, rehab, and that was all throughout COVID. So the world was like shut down. Where a lot of my rehab, I was doing it by myself. I was going to a physical therapy center in Naugatuck for maybe like 2 or 3 days out the week, but the rest of the time I was doing a lot of stuff by myself, like a lot of going on Google how to do this, how to do that. And
yo, like mentally, how are you feeling throughout this whole situation? Like at this point,
my mental.
This is your senior year, right? You pretty much just missed the whole senior year, right?
Basically, like
right?
my senior year wasn't the production that I wanted or that I was about to have, like
because that's like because a lot of players, like a lot of really good players, right? They don't really do the 4 years, right?
No.
So obviously, if you do 4 years in college, you want your senior year to be like now it's time. Like I'm out there really. I'm trying to get drafted.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's crazy because I still averaged 14 my senior year on a broken foot.
Okay.
Like averaging 14 in college is pretty fucking good.
No, it is.
Like,
yeah.
And I mean, I almost scored 2,000. I scored 1,000 at Auburn, and I was like, I missed like between 17 and 20 games at St. John's, and I scored like 700 or 800 points. So I almost scored 1,000 at 2 high major schools, battling injuries for 4 years. Yeah, it's pretty hard.
So, all right, so you graduate at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, because I know you enter the draft, right? Or
my senior year, not really, more of a free agent thing. I didn't enter because I entered twice already. You can test the waters twice, so then you kind of just go in. You're automatically, as a senior leaving, you're automatically in the draft.
Okay.
But I was more like on a free agent thing. I wasn't able to do any camps or anything, but just because I was in a booth.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew the situation I was going into. I knew it was COVID, so I don't think there was summer league that year, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do any of that type of stuff. So it was more like rehab. Like I wasn't able to get on the court until like October
of 2020.
Of 2020, yeah.
Oh, so this is like after COVID kind of died down a little bit, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So where are you at now, like in your basketball career? Like, right, you're done with college.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get drafted because you couldn't really show out your skills.
Yeah.
Like so.
So all right, so 2020 was the start of my rookie year. I didn't get back on the court until October, so I worked out October, November, December, January. Then early January, I started my rookie year in England.
Well, because you had a job though, right? Like you had a
yeah. So
before that,
so during COVID, I was working in a liquor store.
bro.
Yeah, in
What liquor store
Middlebury.
you
I was
work at?
looking at Middlebury Fine Wine and Liquor.
In Middlebury?
In Middlebury, in the middle of Middlebury, right next to Middlebury Pizza. And
Yo, was that like a humbling experience? Was that your first job?
for sure, it was my first real job. Yes.
Like, what were you like? I mean, as coming from people that work regular jobs, this shit sucks, right? Like, yo, what were your thoughts like as you're like having this kind of because you know because it seems like throughout most of your life, right? You're like, all right, you're just like on this uphill trajectory, right? And all of a sudden, like as you get close to where like it's supposed to really explode, you kind of like have the roughest time of your life, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like, fuck, I haven't played in a while. I'm fucking hurt. I'm recovering. Like I'm not even. I'm recovering off YouTube channels. Like, and I'm fucking working like at a liquor store. Like,
yeah.
how do you
Like that? I ain't gonna lie. The shit felt like a movie for real. Cause it's like I never like to think of myself like this like famous like whatever. But it's like, all right, the facts are the facts. Like I was this in high school. You know, you go to college, you do this. You're supposed to be this, and then it's like. When people come into the liquor store, they're asking you like, "Hey, you still play basketball?" And I'm
they're recognizing.
"Yeah, they're recognizing."
Oh, so that kind of stings you a little more.
Even through the mask, like people are recognizing. I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I still play basketball." But it was like, at the same time, it was a humbling experience because then it was like, bro, you just gotta wait your turn. Like
Okay.
I eventually learned that.
You didn't lose hope.
Nah. Well, in the beginning of COVID, when I was in the boot and I was in the hard cast, I was thinking about like, yo, maybe it might be just time to just call it quits. But then I kind of like once I started getting back on the court and stuff, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. And then once I got a regular job, I was like,
This
hell no. And it's nothing. But my parents work regular jobs, and it's just like don't don't don't
downplay it, man. That shit's trash.
As long as I can play basketball, I'm gonna try to play basketball. Like,
okay,
for sure. That's
all
it.
right. So, how did you like you went through all this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you even get like tapped in with like this team in the UK?
So it's funny. The coach actually went to Holy Cross. He played in England after he went to Holy Cross. He played in college. He goes to England. He plays out there. He had a great career out there, and then he ends up staying out there to start his coaching career. And he's been out there for like the last 13 or 14 years, winning championships.
So, coach from Waterbury is like
was
the coaching,
and he's the best coach out there. He's like big time
in the UK,
big time coach.
What's
out
his
there.
name?
Rob Paternostro.
Really,
big time coach out there.
Damn, that's fucking
great
crazy.
coach too.
Like, just to be out here to be.
And it was almost like perfect timing. It was the perfect situation. I had somebody that understood who I was coming out of high school, understood my game, understood the situation I was in, coming off an injury, going into my rookie year. So he kind of just helped that transition. He helped, especially the European basketball, which is a lot different than college basketball in America. The pace is different. The weight, the physicality, the game is just totally different out there.
They're more like defense oriented in the passing, right?
It's
like,
very
it's not like
system,
high pace
for
offense,
sure.
right?
It's high pace, but it's very system oriented high pace, and it's a technical game out there. Like I said, it's more physical. It's like Luka Doncic has said that it's harder to score in Europe than it is in the NBA, which I do believe because there is no defensive 3 seconds, so you can just sit a big in the paint, play zone easier, stuff like that. So definitely.
So yo, you get a call from this coach, right? He's like, yo, like at this point, do you have an agent?
Yes, I have an agent,
Okay.
all that stuff. So I'm working through my agent. We're kind of waiting for jobs to open up. And also because COVID was going on, they weren't letting a lot of Americans into different countries. So I was battling with that, but I was able to get out to England. And also I battle with the fact that I'm not vaccinated.
Right.
And so a lot of that's what's kind of holding me back from doing the NBA stuff right now
Okay.
is that I'm not getting the vaccine. I'm like a Kyrie Irving shit, I guess.
Okay.
But
High priest.
yeah. But
Woke as
but yeah, that was definitely Rob. He helped me with my transition beautifully.
Yo, so how was like that first check, or like how was that first paid professional check? Like how did it feel? Like was it like
It's like, oh
what,
shit.
like, yo, was it what you expected? Was it less, more, or just
No.
kind of like on par what you thought it was gonna be like?
Nah, I mean, definitely. I mean, everybody thinks that the first check is gonna be $1 million when you're young and stuff. But nah, it definitely wasn't $1 million. But I mean, to the first,
I mean, because you just went from minimum wage.
yeah,
pretty much,
exactly,
right? Like-
exactly. So I'm like, I'm great. I grew up in a household where you're grateful for everything. It's
Yeah.
never, you know. So just seeing something go into my bank account with my name on it that says basketball club of blah blah blah, or like, and you know, in the foreign countries, it's got the bank name of the foreign country. So
Okay.
it's like that shit is like, come on,
You getting
like,
paid in pounds or like actual?
I was getting
cash?
paid in pounds, yeah.
Okay.
And I had to get like a bank account that you could transfer the money over, bring it back home, and all that stuff with like
So
the
yo, what
lowest
was,
fee.
what was your first purchase with the new money? Nice chain, car.
Nah, hell no.
No.
Honestly, probably like some
He is
candy
Kyrie,
or
yo.
some
It's some
shit.
Kyrie shit.
Nah, I mean,
Candy.
I bought my car, my first car for myself before my rookie year.
Okay.
So yeah, probably like some shit out the store or something. Like when I actually got my
like
first check
big,
in England.
Like, no, nothing crazy.
Yeah, no, because you don't get your first check until you're there for a month.
Okay.
The way it's different. Like you don't get paid until you actually start playing, like, and work, because it is a real job technically.
Yeah.
You're getting W-2s and all that type of stuff. So,
But yo,
yeah.
it's like it's untaxed, right?
yeah, they pay your the taxes in the country that you're playing in.
So when
But
you bring
once
the money over here, it's like
You
it's
gotta
already-
pay the taxes.
Okay.
Oh, well, like I still have to pay taxes once I get over here. Like,
Oh, you have
every
to
year.
when you bring the money
Money
back,
back,
you
you
still have to
pay
pay
tax.
tax.
Yeah,
I
for
always
sure.
thought it was like
Nah, they
I
just
thought Ann said that he didn't have to pay taxes.
No, you definitely got to pay tax in America.
Okay.
One of my first like vets, and like when I was in Hungary, they was teaching me about like what happened to them when they went like 8-9 years without paying them taxes. They said they had to give a lump sum of money. Yo.
Really?
Like,
yo.
yeah.
So how was like your first season like overseas?
Oh, it was dope. It was good. I learned a lot. I played pretty well.
What was your averaging over there?
My rookie year I averaged like 10.
10. You
Yeah.
start? Or-
Couple games I started. I
Okay.
think half the time I was there, I started. Half the time I came off the bench. It was just
Okay.
depending on the matchup, what the game was, scout, and all that stuff.
Yo, at least like in UK, like they speak English, right?
Yeah.
So like that was because I remember what's his name was saying that like Ant was saying that like sometimes
Mhm.
he play for teams that like you just
Yeah.
nobody speaks like your language.
Like
you
I
just-
was in Hungary. I don't speak Hungarian. Everything is
Well, you played for
translated.
Hungary too.
I played in Hungary. Yep.
So how many pro teams have you been in so far?
3.
3.
Yeah, I've been in England, Hungary, and Iceland so far.
So I mean, because it's 10-month seasons, right?
So because of COVID, I only played my rookie year. I only played from February. The season started in September, but I only played from February to like May, and then we got the summer, and then in Hungary, I went preseason, and then I got hurt, and by like the 6 games, I was there for like 3 months. Then I had to rehab. I came back home, rehab, and then I went to Iceland.
Do you still get paid when you rehabbing or no?
I was on a guaranteed contract, so they gave me my next 2 months of pay, and then I went home and basically rehab, and then I went to another club in another country.
Okay. What's been your favorite team so far?
I would say the situation I just came from in Iceland.
Okay.
I was there. I probably would say the longest. Well, actually, no, we won the league when I was in England.
Oh, for real?
But
Like you won, like y'all won, like
yeah, we won the league. We lost
that's
in
not
the
the
playoffs.
Euro Cup, is it?
No, it's like the BBLs, like the British Basketball League. Like we
Okay.
won that league. And the way it works is like when you play in like Euro Cup and Euro League and stuff, you play in the country that you like your domestic league, and then you like once or twice a week you play in other countries against other teams that play in the Euro League.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So one thing I've always kind of found a little weird about overseas players, and maybe you
Mhm.
could explain it to me better, is like it seems like they never go back to the same team. Like it seems like it's just a constant rotation of different teams. Why
most
is
times
that?
it's
Like why don't you? Because I feel like as a player, right?
Mhm.
Like when you're on a team, like when you're on a team consistently, right? Like you know the players, you know like how they work out, you know how they play, right? Like your chances of winning are a little better, right? Because like, you know, and when every time you get tossed into a new situation, you gotta adapt, right?
Yeah.
So why is it that like most Americans that play overseas always do this?
It's when you're talking about Americans, like there's only like on some teams you might have 5, some teams you got 1, some teams you got 2, 3, 4. Like, and we're considered imports. With imports, it's like it's they just they in and out. Like if you're not in some countries, if you're not performing well, you get 1, 2 games, and they
That's
tell
it.
see
They
like,
cut you.
gotta go. Like some of these like a lot of these contracts are not guaranteed, so it's like yo, they'll even tell you we're putting you on trial run, putting you on the practice run. Like you got 2 weeks of practice to prove that you can play on the. It's a lot of pressure. And there's so many American basketball players when there's like 190 countries that you can play professionally in, and there's 300,000 Americans between the ages.
Almost every college player that graduates
exactly
wants to play overseas, right? Because
exactly.
like with the NBA only takes what like
450 every year. So you got a lot of basketball out there that can be played. So they're looking at it like I could just go get another one. I'll look at his numbers. His numbers are good enough. I'll look at his film. It looks okay. Bring him on.
Okay.
Like, I don't like him.
Boom. That's it. Like
that's it.
Damn.
It's a cutthroat business.
Or you be sleep middle of the night. Niggas start packing this shit up.
But that I've heard stories. There's actually it's a Instagram page called Overseas Fits. If you go on that, it's like the League Fits page, but it's for dudes overseas, and it kind of sheds a lot of light on what the lifestyle is like overseas. Right. And they sometimes do panels where they like allow people in the comments to talk about like their worst situations overseas. Man, you can hear stories from dudes that's owed over $100,000 from clubs, and dudes done got jumped in the cities by the fans and all different type of stuff. No, it's cutthroat.
I mean, fans is like, I'm really comparing it like, cause like soccer fans, right? Like soccer fans are the same.
It's like a religion, bro.
Nuts.
So
like,
it's like a religion.
Basketball fans are just like the soccer ones.
Yo, so how does it feel like to be around all these different cultures, like other than basketball, right? Like what's like actually being like in these cities? Like what was like being in the UK, Iceland? Like
it's fire. I mean, I've always been somebody that like to see different stuff. Yeah. So it's like I'd like to dibble and dabble in all different cultures. I want to be uncomfortable and then make myself eventually. You make yourself comfortable in a situation. So I've never been like afraid. I feel like I can go to, as long as the money's right, I can go to any country and play. Like it doesn't really. I could live in the woods if I had to. Like,
what would you say is like the biggest difference thing, like living in America and living like in some of these countries?
What would you say?
Like what's like the biggest difference that you notice like between like the people or the culture between America and like in these countries you've been to?
Honestly, I would say the language. Like once you start learning, like maybe you're not gonna learn the full language, but once you kind of get context of what people are talking about, we all live similar lives. We're all on social media.
You know how like they kind of say like Americans are like super rude. Yeah. Like you think that's just a consistent human nature kind of
exactly
like everyone's we're all assholes.
They're rude. They're assholes in their own language. Like sarcasm in Europe is not really like everything is like real literal out there. Like that's probably that's the biggest difference right there. There's no like sarcasm out there that I've noticed. Everything is literal. Like straightforward.
All right, now some more serious things. So how are the bitches in these other countries?
I know that's the more serious topic.
Let's get into the holes.
I do well for myself.
No, I'm saying, but like, what is
that's his go-to phrase?
I do well for myself.
But how is like the dating world out there, right? Like, I'm assuming you date around when you're in these places, right? Like, are the women like kind of the same as American, or like a little different?
No, they're not. Definitely not the same. I think a little bit. You kind of find there's similar. You find similarities and differences.
Because I feel like American women are a little more dominant in a sense. You know what I mean? Like kind of like I'm not catering to no dude type of shit, right? Like, do you think that's like are the women's over there a little more feminine in a way?
Yeah, the energy is a little different over there sometimes.
You think they're more welcoming?
For sure, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, it's also like, are they welcoming in general, or are they welcoming to like a pro baller? Like, yeah,
I guess.
Yo, a lot of people from other countries are always trying to get that fucking green card, so it's like.
Yeah, I'll do it.
They'll suck a little different.
I mean, I want to live outside the country, so you probably ain't gonna get no green card from me.
Yo, where would you live like permanently? Any of the places you've been to so far? Or haven't found like your
I think
home
I
yet.
could permanently live. Honestly, I could permanently live everywhere I was at, but Iceland, I think, would be like the one I think I could live in.
Yo, is Iceland the one with the that lake,
the Blue Lagoon.
yeah. That's where I
that's
want to go
Iceland,
there.
yeah.
They got
Yeah.
like the black sand beach or whatever.
See, I went to that. I didn't get a chance to go to the Blue Lagoon, but I went to something called the Sky Lagoon.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the same thing, but it's just a little different.
And you lived out there for like
About 4 months, about 3-4 months, yeah.
Yo, do you like do you feel lonely when you're like in these places, or like
No.
you're with the team? It's like it's all love and all stuff.
Nah, it's actually crazy. That's the difference from college and being a professional. As a professional, you spend a lot of time by yourself.
Really?
So it's like, even when I come back to America, sometimes like noise bothers me. Like I'd be like, yo, like get that shit out of here. Like I've been by myself for so long. Like, you sometimes you find a few teammates that you might hang out with sometimes, but these dudes got, most of the time it's 5 Americans on the team, so you might hang out with the other Americans. But then dudes trying to get chicks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the natives, most of the time they got kids. They got families. Some of them have jobs outside of like some of them are playing basketball as like their second job or their first job, and then they have a second job that they go to after practice.
That's a wild concept. Like you're a farmer in the morning.
You're a ball player.
Play pro ball in the fucking like night.
That's pretty much how in most countries you'll find.
Yo, do you guys do the Americans get paid more than the
And most times
natives?
it'll be like that. Most times I think.
Do you feel like there's like
sure.
any kind of like
Animosity,
malice from
yeah.
them when they like, because they probably know
yeah,
that.
and then most natives and countries are looking at Americans like, yo, if you get a 36-year-old, guard from Hungary, let's say, he's seen 500 Americans damn near since he's been playing pro since he was 16, and he's seen 5,000 Americans. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just like, yo, you're just another American. Like,
Right.
you're gonna be here for a certain amount of time. You're either gonna like it, you're gonna leave, you're gonna love it, you're gonna stay maybe, but
He doesn't even like pay you no mind.
I'm here to do my job, and
Go home.
if you're cool,
Yeah.
you're cool. If not, then I'm here to do my job either way.
Yo,
Okay.
can have you ever like since you've been playing at a high level for like a long time, right? Yo, have you ever gotten like paid like to lose a game or like nothing like that?
And I wouldn't do no shit like that. Like I could because
Like nobody's ever approached you like to kind of like try to like
nah.
persuade you to take money like to go to a school or anything like that?
Me personally, no, not that I know of. Nah,
Okay.
like somebody
Like
came
your
up to me.
dad never pulled up in a new Benz, like
Nah, hell nah.
Wearing a
Hell nah. A lot of people probably thought that I had a lot of like stuff going on, and then actually my sophomore year when I was at Auburn, there was 4 different schools that was involved in the FBI investigation for like money laundering,
Yeah.
and
For
there's
real?
actually an HBO documentary on it called The Scheme, and my school was involved in that. I was the FBI interviewed me as a material witness and all that. Like,
damn.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yo, like, what did you feel like when like this is going on? Like,
Honestly, it's crazy. I was in class with 2 of my team. It's funny. They both in the NBA now. Chuma Okeke and Davion Mitchell. We were sitting in the class at like 9 in, and Twitter's just started going crazy.
Yeah.
And Chuma showed me his phone. And he's like, "Yo, they just arrested Chuck." And I'm like, "Huh?" And Chuck is our coach, our assistant coach.
Right.
And the FBI, they kicked his door down 5:30 in the morning, and they took him in because he was like supposed to get like money off a couple dudes off the team for signing to certain agents and stuff like that. I ended up reading the whole indictment. It was like, because I had to make sure that I'm not in that motherfucker. Like, so I read through the whole thing. I'm not in there. So I'm like, all right, I really don't have nothing to worry about. But then they ended up bringing me in as a material witness.
you get to testify in court?
No, not in court. They just brought me in and interviewed me.
Okay.
I had to get 2 lawyers, and then I was sitting in front of like 6 FBI agents
Yo,
in
it's
New
fucking
York.
crazy that like the FBI got involved in something like it's not even like. I mean, it's not like it's like
for
terrorism
what? Paying,
type
for,
shit, right? It's
for
just like,
paying kids that deserve it.
yo,
Like,
when you're in college,
Are they doing that now anyway?
yeah, exactly. They're
yo,
doing it now.
when you were in college, you couldn't get paid at that time, right?
Nope. But
I mean,
think it's-
honestly, that's a wild concept to like. What is it? Not getting paid off your likeliness or something, something like that.
name and
Like,
likeness.
yeah, like you're pretty much you're making money off of me.
Me,
Like
but
you're
I
making
can't.
money off my name, and
Yeah.
I can't do it. Even like there was this guy that does YouTube, but he does it for primarily like football now, and he goes around to like different like pretty much like D1 and like people pretty much like all the top players in school or in the nation at the time. And I guess the NCAA told him that he can't have a YouTube channel and he can't play.
You can't monetize.
Yeah, he can't have a YouTube channel, and
Damn, for real?
he either had to choose the NFL or he had to choose being part of the NCAA or
Obviously,
doing
you
YouTube.
choose like the
Yeah.
NCAA.
Nah,
Like,
he chose YouTube.
Oh, he chose YouTube.
Yeah,
that money off. He
Damn.
probably wasn't like gonna be like a super pro or anything. So
I think he was like a kicker for like one of the teams.
Oh yeah,
and he
kicker.
was like,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
he was like, you know, what,
He kept it real with himself, yo.
I'm gonna just
Ain't nothing
I'm
wrong with
gonna
that.
stay with YouTube, you know. But it's crazy that like you can't even do that. Like,
Nah, yeah.
not even has nothing to do with like, what they got going on.
Exactly.
But, like,
Yo,
that's-
because now like if you're like a star player at a like a D1 school, your social media is like following so big enough that you could probably just monetize like shit on that.
yeah,
Exactly.
which you
And that's
should.
what the kids are doing now.
You should be able to. Like, you why shouldn't you?
Exactly.
Yo, what year did they start that then?
They started that literally last year.
Oh,
But I think this shit is all planned because it's like when I was in college, I remember obviously we have the FBI stuff, and then like my senior year, like during the COVID, like I think it was either right before or right after COVID, they had that HBO documentary, and now all of a sudden the players can get paid. Like it just happened too fast. Like I don't know. I be thinking about shit like that though. Like.
I mean, but I think it's
And plus, I'm right in the center. I feel like I'm involved in it and all that. So it's like,
honestly, I think it's dope. It's deserved. Like they should probably pay reparations too. Like give you guys a percentage for like.
Yo,
the shit
those
that
colleges
actually, I think you
make so
can't do
much
that.
money, yo.
I think you
Millions,
can
bro.
apply for that.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think you can apply for that. Honestly, I don't think it's like more than like $1,200. They try to cheat you, but I think you can apply for something like that.
I mean, because like the amount of money that they make off of the jerseys, like the selling the tickets, all
It's
of that
crazy.
stuff, you know, like
We used to have people outside the arena when Auburn. We was top 10 in the country. We had people literally waiting outside the arena like during school, like a line around the corner. Like people are in class, like
they're-
skipping class just to wait in the line to get their tickets. Like, and we not making no bread off of it. Crazy.
Yo, they're making millions off y'all.
Come on,
hey, you
man.
guys are like
Yo, that's
starving
yo,
college
that's why
students,
like
you know?
yo, how the people those doctors told you like yo like they're trying to fuck your career up because yo obviously these are professional doctors at the school, right? They
Mhm.
know what the MRI is supposed to look like and they know what
Yeah.
it's not supposed to look like, right?
Exactly.
And they're telling you it's just a sprain, yo, because they
No,
want you to
listen,
play at all
let-
costs,
let
you know?
him- Get him
Basically.
back out there.
Yo, because they already know like yo fuck it, like let's try to get a ring off this dude and once he's done it ain't our problem.
Something.
Like we got a new batch.
Send them. It got another. It's like the slave auction. We got another one coming in. It's literally
Yeah.
that. Like it's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no sugar in it. That's what it is. It's just in a different arena. That's all it is.
All right, so moving forward, like yo, what's like your your new goals? Like, are you still trying to make it to the NBA?
I mean, it depends on what they want to do with the vaccine stuff. I don't know how.
Like,
that's
is that
working.
is that much of a deal breaker for you?
Yeah. Like I mean,
Like, no matter what, you won't get it.
I haven't been vaccinated since I was like 13 years old, like young, like, and that's before you have a choice. Like,
Yo, right now, bro, they, like
don't matter.
the
I
Bucks
don't
call
give a
you
fuck if it's
$5
$100
million contract.
I don't care.
Damn.
I'm not getting it.
Yo, what's your gripe against the vaccine?
I just don't. I mean, it's not natural. Like, why are you pushing it so hard?
Okay.
There's a lot of different things.
I
that
work
hold-
for them, man. I
no,
know
I'm
that.
just saying. No, not you. I'm saying.
Yo, he
like,
looking straight in your
why
face,
you-
like nigga, why you
why you
pushing this shit?
Nah, I know what he meant.
no, but like, you feel me? Like, why?
Like, what do you work for?
Like, why y'all pushing this so hard? Like,
Oh, you thought this was regular drink, bro? You vaccinated already?
no, but I mean, that's really it for me. It's just like, yo, like, what's the big deal?
Is there a possibility of them like lightening up on that? Or-
I mean,
think
I would
so.
hope so.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think so.
I
It's
mean, yo,
like-
like Kyrie never got vaccinated, right? Like,
but I mean, it's different when you're already in there versus. when
Yeah.
you're trying to
What's the
get
story
in.
with him?
I
where
have
do you
no idea.
start?
I honestly, I don't know.
Nah, but
Yeah.
I mean, yo, he's like, he's a complicated individual in the NBA. I'm
Okay.
yeah,
it's yo. I started off as a big fan of Kyrie, man. I really did, right? I was like, all right, this guy's like, he's got his third eye opening, man. Like I'm saying, like I get it. Yeah, it's like it's starting to just feel like bullshit at this point. 'Cause it's just like, all right, like now, like what's like this, like the trade rumors going on? Like, is he like going to the fucking Lakers at this point?
Honestly,
like, I don't know what the
yeah, no,
fuck.
I don't know what's going on, to be honest.
Wait, so they threatened him to get the vaccine, and he was like, "I'm not
he
getting
didn't,
it."
he didn't play for like a minute too,
Really?
but then eventually like because I think it varies state by state, right? Like, because like certain states
New York,
he
I
couldn't
know
play
it was
in,
like-
like, and
yeah.
then certain states he could play in.
They had like New York and California, like you couldn't play like a home games. I think you couldn't play or
Yeah.
something like that. But I don't really know. I was
So
able
yo,
to play in Europe.
you're content like playing overseas, like
Yeah.
for the rest of your
And plus,
career?
I mean, I love life overseas. I mean, I want to see the whole world, honestly. Like, there's just so much shit that I want to see, and it's like getting to play basketball.
Do
in a
they play your
place-
board? Like,
Yeah, they pay for you. Normally get transportation, you get a couple meals a day, and then you get obviously your pay, and then your house, your living is paid for.
Nice. Okay.
So it's like I get to rack up as much money as possible playing basketball.
So it's not
Yeah.
like a big deal breaker for you then. Like it's not like something that's like,
No, that's
because
like,
obviously a lot of ball players like that's their end goal.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
making
No,
it-
yeah, for sure.
making it to the NBA.
For sure, league is definitely the end goal. But it's something in me that like obviously like you do it to make it to the league, but I think something in me always wanted, because my dad played overseas, something always wanted to, or in me wanted to be like a professional basketball player overseas, like in Europe, seeing Europe. But I kind of didn't start thinking about that until maybe this year.
I mean, that
Okay.
brings me to
So-
my next
Yo,
question.
Rich-
Like, what does your dad think about all this now?
What you mean?
Like, just like
Your stance on vaccines.
your stance on vaccines,
Yeah.
like
It's
the
I mean, he
NBA
got it.
situation, like
Yeah.
you playing overseas now,
Mhm.
like how what's his take on all of it? I know he really was like pushing you.
I mean, personally,
younger.
he's just glad I'm not getting in trouble and shit.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely he's glad that I'm playing professionally. He understands that I'm not gonna fold for it. I mean, he definitely talked to me about it. It was like, maybe you should. I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And I'm pretty like, once I get my mind set on something, it's pretty set, like in stone. That's just how I am.
Do you think you've accomplished the goals that he set out for you?
Yeah, I think honestly the only goal would be that I haven't played an NBA minute yet. That
Okay.
would probably be the only goal. But I think everything else, I went to school for free. I started a community outreach with him at 15 years old. We did the whole 9. So
You know, like some dads would have been like on his son's
Mhm.
case for like not reaching the standard that he thought that he wanted up. Even though like you have your own path and you
Yeah.
have your own decision that you want to make, like
mhm.
some parents would be like, like this isn't what I had set out for you. Like
No,
you're
yeah.
going off and doing your own
Yo,
thing.
do you think you can make the NBA?
For sure. Oh no, I know for 100%.
That's not
So
even
it's
like-
not even a question. No,
Okay.
it's not even a question. No, yeah, nah.
That's like-
That's never a question. That's never the question.
The NBA need me. Nigga.
They missing out. Honestly.
Nah, yeah, that's not even
We
the
be
question.
honest.
Yeah, nah, yeah, it's not even a question.
All right, yo, what team, if you could, would you like to play for then?
Honestly, I'm a real low key type of dude. I could play in a small market. Like I could play for like the Bucks or like
Yeah, they just fucking won.
well,
a
not
championship
but
like
I
2
feel
seasons
but
ago.
I mean Portland's a small market, but I mean there's a superstar on every team damn near. But I could play like in anywhere honestly.
Okay. I mean, all right.
If I had to choose, probably Miami though.
Miami.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Orlando.
Miami is
That's
dope.
pretty-
Miami's dope.
They got a solid chance.
Yeah, and I like Jimmy Butler a lot. I fuck with Jimmy Butler. He's dope.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know nothing about basketball.
No, he's a
Yo,
competitor.
Jimmy Butler is working out right now, yo.
No, yeah, he's a competitor, and
Yo,
I'm a competitor.
I
so.
actually I love the fucking memes about that guy where like they just say, yo, he's like this guy that like he's just like he's a hard working dude, but it's like he pretty much like leaves almost every team he works at because they didn't work hard enough. So
Yeah.
it's just like
It was like some dude
yeah,
like
pretty much everybody slackers to him.
his energy
Yeah.
too strong. Like some people can't get with that. Like me personally, I've loved when I had teammates like Jimmy Butler. I haven't had too many of them, but like dudes like that, that's because it's good. The intention is always good. Like
so who would you
Do
say?
you think it
is, like,
reminds you
been-
of your father?
probably somewhat, and that was what I learned from a stern like voice, and that just everything with, like I said, he had me doing push-ups and shit. Like
Yeah.
but when I was young, like working on defensive slides in order to keep my hands out, sliding with bricks in my hand and shit. Like 11 years old. So it's like I'm used to just like
Yo, do you
that type
do you have
of.
brothers?
I got one. We're not blood brothers, but we lived together since we was like 12, 13.
Is he the same? Is he from your dad or from?
Nah, we're not related at all. But we lived together
Oh, he's
playing
like a- kinda like a
basketball. So
dog.
he's like, nah, not exactly. We just my friend. But
Oh.
we lived together for so long that we call each other brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, but you don't have like a blood.
No.
brother.
I'm
like, damn,
I wish I did, but
Nah,
he is my blood brother though. Like,
I get what you're saying.
nah, yeah.
But DNA wise.
Nah, yeah, no, just 3 sisters, 2 younger ones, two
Are they
younger
into
half
sports?
sisters. Nah, one of them is a brain. Well, they're both brainiacs,
Okay,
but
okay.
one of them, she just graduated high school. She's going to Syracuse as a freshman. She graduated like 4.6.
Really?
Like, yeah, like on some crazy
I
shit.
didn't know it went higher than 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Now I found out
Yeah,
randomly. Like, they went,
Yo, she's so smart. I had to make extra points.
that's what I'm saying. Like she's
That'll
doing
make
like
room
all
for her.
AP classes and all that. And
No,
then
I
my
was gonna
older
say, I
sister.
want, like, if you had
What's
a
her
little brother,
goals?
I wonder how, like,
What's her goals?
Honestly, it's crazy. She didn't even know if she wanted to go to college or not.
Really?
Yeah, like she just one of them brainiac. type
Like
of
she
people.
got like
Nat-
she,
natural.
what's her career path? She doesn't have one either.
Doesn't know yet.
Really?
Yeah. But my youngest sister, she wants to work for NASA.
Okay.
Which I tell her all the time, I don't really condone.
Why not?
I'm not like.
I feel like you're low key like a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's low. It's
yeah, no, it's high key.
It's
It's
high
high
key.
key. I mean, I think it's a
like
scam.
all right, what's one conspiracy that like is you'll die in a hill for?
Get your gears going.
Wait, what you mean, like?
Like, what's one conspiracy theory like that you constantly just think about and you're like, no one can tell you otherwise?
Shit. Oh, it's a lot of them. My friends, when they see this, they gonna laugh. They gonna start naming shit. Honestly, flat Earth.
You think
Flat Earth? I know it's flat.
Oh,
Come on now. I forgot about that. Yeah.
You know the
Oh,
Earth
you
is
a,
flat.
are you Kyrie for real?
I know it's flat.
Yo, didn't Kyrie kind of back out on that?
He probably did, but I know it's flat.
How do you know? You saw it?
I mean, I ain't see the Earth from. Nobody can see the Earth from the outside. But I mean, it just no. It's just it's so many clues to. I think the biggest thing I would say is the fact that there's 24-hour sunlight in certain parts of the world at certain times of the year. If we vortex in
Alaska,
yeah, the whole center of the Earth, Iceland is in that. There's certain parts of Russia that's in that, and then Antarctica has 24-hour sunlight in their summertime. How is that possible?
Do you think the Earth is just on the axis of the Earth is just pretty much like pointed directly at the sun?
It's pointing,
or the sun is pointing directly at that point?
But how they got 24-hour sunlight? Like
because it's just spinning like right there. Like if the sun is right here and you're spinning right here, obviously
don't
like
the sun
this
don't
is
it
gonna
all
get.
move? Don't they say it all? We vortexing like this.
No,
that's what they be saying.
We rotate.
But and they say we all rotate and then
I don't
vortex
have
and
the
all that.
facts to debate.
Right,
No, yeah, of course, me neither. But
Here's my image. The sun is here, right?
Yeah.
And if the sun is beaming down to like the top of the can, this will always get sunlight. And this is spinning around. This will always get sunlight. These parts aren't gonna get sunlight.
But then by that theory, how come it switches eventually?
What do you mean?
Like if the sun is right here, right, and it's just spinning like this, right? I get what you're saying, right? But then eventually that changes, like, because it won't get 24 hours of sunlight. Like, what happens is the Earth just kind of like flip.
It just chills.
It's a little flippity flip.
Like I'm out.
Exactly. It make you wonder, like
I'm gonna head out. Like I've been here long enough.
You know what? The only reason I think the Earth isn't flat, right, is because that shit would be on TikTok. I just feel like here's my thing, right? People own boats. People own planes, right? Like regular people, not just like. I'm saying, I'm sure at some point, right, you'll be able to afford a fucking boat, you know what I'm saying, with your salary and all that shit, right? Yo, and you'll be able to just to sail to the fucking end. You'll just be able to like
get. Honestly, with the flat Earth theory, they're supposed to have like, isn't it Antarctica? Like they have like chunks of like, they have an ice wall.
So it should be
you can't go past
but even that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so basically, say you get to one end, right? It's an ice wall. Yo, you just follow the ice wall, right? Like if you do a whole loop and you just come back,
the whole Earth, yeah.
No, literally, like apparently flat Earth theory again. The military does not allow you to go past a certain point.
Point to Antarctica, yeah.
No, I'm saying, but like, yo, all right, say you're not in Antarctica, right? Say like you're like off the coast of Hawaii, right? And you just go
and you keep on straight.
Yeah,
you're gonna hit Antarctica.
You're gonna hit Antarctica. Any angle, you're gonna hit Antarctica. It's like
so every inside and Antarctica on the outside.
Antarctica is the outside, the outskirts of it, like the crust of the pie.
No, please don't use the globe. That's a lie. Please don't. Please go
this
get
is the hill he's fucking ready to die on.
Go get a map from any.
Yo, when did you start this flat Earth theory, yo?
Yo, like when COVID started, I started just reading shit. Like I wasn't doing nothing but rehabbing. I was just reading stuff.
It's the weed and the shrooms, bro.
It might be, but
that's why I can't do it. Bro. I start thinking about shit like that and really get paranoid over it.
Check any encyclopedia and any map before the year 1959 is gonna say flat Earth. And check any FAA flight manual. They're gonna say they tell pilots to treat the Earth like a stationary flat plane.
This is my one question.
Why'd you do that?
If the Earth is flat, the Earth is flat, what's the benefit in lying to us about it?
To keep you out the loop. Then you can lie. Now, if they lie to us about the shape of the realm that we live in, imagine what else they lying to us about. Imagine what else they just show us.
Do you watch Stranger Things, yo?
Nah, but I mean, I believe that they show us the truth in a lot of stuff on TV.
Do you think we actually like went to the moon?
No, Buzz Aldrin said it himself. There's videos of him saying it. The dude Buzz Aldrin.
I don't know what that is.
That was on the moon.
I thought that was Neil Armstrong.
It was a bunch of them. It wasn't just him. It was a bunch of astronauts.
My nigga Neil went up there. He too.
Put the flag
And
down.
Nigga
they,
went up there
like,
dolo, bro.
and I be questioning shit because they like, all right, when they went to the moon, like the 63 or whatever,
But
in
they
the
can't do it
60s.
again.
How the hell we supposed to be advancing?
Dude, they
and you
never went
can't
back
go
up there
back to
again?
Nah, you can't
Where
go
the
back to
who?
They said it. They was like, we can't go back up there. How the hell you can't get back up
Where the
there?
who they never been to the moon again?
Bro,
Dead
Google
ass,
it.
bro.
I'm telling
Dead
you.
ass.
Swear to God.
Bro, I swear to God.
I ain't swearing to God, but dead ass. Yo, you can
So where the fuck did we going then? I could have sworn all the time.
Nah,
go
yo,
to
they
space
go in
to-
outer space. They just be in the atmosphere where, like the gravity ends, but they don't be
Nah, that's
past
some-
it.
that's
Bro, I
some
don't.
bullshit,
You don't think? So you,
Hell
yo, do you believe
no.
in space?
Yeah, but I don't believe we can go up there.
Why not?
You know what the
Is it
firmament
like
is?
the
You never heard
firmament with the dome
firmament?
and like yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's in all the religious texts. It's everywhere. They tell it.
Yo,
They
are
telling
you
me.
religious? Yo,
Not at all. But I
are you
believe
an
that.
atheist?
Nah, I'm more spiritual. I believe in higher power. I believe in energy. I believe in all that stuff. But I don't believe that there's one God that when we die, we go to him and he said, "You go to heaven, you go to hell." I feel
Yo,
like
what do you believe when you die? Then
I feel like that your energy stays in this realm and you kind of roam this realm, and I feel like
forever.
it's like reincarnation. And
Okay.
I feel like you
I just talked about this shit. Yesterday.
I feel like you like hell and heaven would be like if you have guilt and you're like very resentful throughout your life. I feel like your memories literally just play like somehow, or maybe there's like a big screen or something, but I feel like your memories just continue to
All right. Now we're getting into
some dream shit.
Because yo, here's what I think. Right, I think it's kind of unfair
Mhm.
to like say someone should go to hell because it's like almost all the shit that like you as a man, just think about it, like you as a man, right? Almost everything that you desire is like forbidden, right? It's like yo, everything that goes like it's like you have to completely go against your own instincts,
Yeah.
to like be a good person, right? So it's like
And
yo, and I look at shit like this, right? Like say. Like yo, right, you for example, right? Like say you're just like a fucking amazing person, right? Like you're just a good dude, right? Say you just go out, you get out of here, right? After we shoot this episode, you get into like you just get into someone traffic, right? Like now this person thinks like you're like yo, people would judge you off like 2 seconds, right? They're like, oh, like this guy is such a fucking asshole, right? And in their head, yo, like you're just deemed a bad person. You know what I mean? Cause it's like yo, I have a hard time like differentiating between like what's a good person and a bad person because like yo, it's such a fine line of like yo, you could be like you could have so many good qualities about you, right? And like do one bad thing and now like you're just labeled as like a fucking piece of shit.
people's perception change all the time, and I feel like sometimes people make perception reality when in the case I don't think perception is reality all the time.
Like yo, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I thought isn't perception supposed to be reality?
That's what you would think, but we all perceive. I'm gonna perceive that picture a different way than you're gonna perceive it. So what's really reality?
The common consensus.
What if we don't have a common consensus?
I mean, there can't be reality is pretty much reality to me may not be reality to you, but I feel like it's just common what we perceive as a unit or as an entirety. Like we're gonna say, okay, that picture's a female with a head tie, but you could be like, it's an elephant fucking riding a unicorn.
Nah, yeah, I feel you.
Like it's just obviously the masses are saying that's a woman wearing a head tie.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel you.
That's why I said perception. I think is
Maybe I'm
is
thinking
reality.
about that the wrong way. Then I might be thinking about that the wrong way or overthinking it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yo, it's so much. I mean, yo, I think because the crazy shit to me sometimes is like, yo, if the government's lying to us, yo, it's like.
No, they are. They're 100% are. They're 100%
I'm
lying.
not like, but here's the wild shit to me, right? Like, you know, like when, like, say you go to a protest or some shit like that, right? And it's like these cops are like beating the shit out of like people, right? Like, it's always crazy to me because like I'm like, yo, these are regular people going against their own like motives. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's so crazy how like people can get like brainwashed like that, right? Like yo, you could just like now you're a cop. Like yo, it's like if you think murder is like an automatic sentence to hell, right? But like yo, now you'll go murder for someone else just because they told you to.
Yeah. Protect yourself, maybe.
I mean, I look at shit like I be having like mixed like reviews on a lot of different stuff, like a lot of different stuff.
Like what?
Like you just talked about like protests and stuff. Like I thought all them protests was bullshit. Like
100%.
go inside, bro. What are you doing? Like,
I
you
feel like
don't
we
care
all
about it
scream
that
for
much.
like 3 minutes and then be
Bro.
like, go back to
Alright,
regular
yo,
all
life.
that
yeah,
Black
yeah,
Lives
you know-
Matter shit. It was bro.
All right. You know what? Actually, you kind of get. I'm gonna tie this into basketball, right? So, all right. Nah, like 'cause this comes up like at least once a month on Twitter, right? Is the WNBA players not getting paid,
Salary.
right? Their salary, right? They comes up. Yo, and the crazy thing is like these women are making like 120K. They're making 200K. They're making like really good
It's like
money.
36 games
Yo, for
in a
like-
season.
Like 5 months. I think their season's 5 months, right?
Yeah.
Yo, and it's like, all right, every fucking month this shit comes up on Twitter, right? But no one does anything about it. Like,
Yeah.
yo,
What is
No
there
one-
to do?
you
Yeah.
go watch the games, you go support the
Oh, yeah,
players.
that
Yo,
too.
you go
Yeah.
make that team make revenue, right?
Yeah.
And it's like almost like the Black Lives Matter. Like,
Yeah.
movement, right? It's
Everybody
like,
Yeah.
complains
yo,
and
yo,
says they
yo,
need it.
Yo, it's so
100%.
yo. I think people think just like posting something on social media
Yeah.
is all they need to do, and that's just like, yo, you're not help. Yo, all you're doing is complaining. You're
That's
pointing out a
literally
problem
all
that
you're
everyone else
doing.
sees, right?
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's the biggest thing on why, like, I have, like, a don't give a fuck attitude about most shit. Like, even, like, conspiracies or, like, the fucking Black Lives Matter or, like, even the government lying to us and shit. It's like, okay, like, if that, let's just say this whole shit is fake. Everything is fake. The women should be getting paid more in basketball.
They
The
shouldn't.
fucking the government is lying to us and the earth is fucking flat. What now? Like, how has that changed my life at this point?
I get what you're saying. I
Like,
do get what you're saying.
Honestly, my answer to everybody, like, honestly, I feel like if everybody in the world besides the 1% stopped going to work, the world would like it would
Crumble.
flip.
Yeah.
Like literally. And
Nah,
I feel like that's what's next. But it's like it's that simple. But who gonna do that? I got bills to pay. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this.
Yo, but it's like it's crazy because like the people that control your bills are people just like
Like
you. They
you.
just have a different job. You know what I
So-
mean? Like,
so if they
yo,
didn't
they
go to
don't
work-
have to turn off your electricity. Like, yo, it's like it's some guy named Dan
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
controlling your electricity. But it's like, but he has to pay the same shit.
Mhm.
But if he was just like, yo, fuck it, like I'm not paying my shit, and I don't give a fuck if he pays his shit.
That's cops, military. That's everybody. People that work in the jail.
Bro,
No, I
it's
think
like-
I think it would turn into like a fucking like
Anarchy.
yeah like what's the one of
Chaos
the
for a
movies
second.
where like the
Chaos.
fucking like everybody was killing each other and then
Purge.
then no, but it was like one of them ones where like the rich people went to like the moon or some shit. They went to like another planet.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know what you.
Yeah, like they let
mean.
all the poor people fucking stay on Earth and like kill themselves.
Yeah.
and then they
Oh,
ended
that's
up,
what
like,
Matt Damon.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, yo, like then they had like some shit like that. It will heal you right away. It's
Yeah,
you
something
lay in
like
that
that.
bed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. So like something like that, I feel like it will just turn into that where like all the fucking rich
Yo,
people
but-
just like go off,
Yo,
which is
the-
exactly why I think Virgin Mobile is fucking creating
Oh, okay. What's that guy?
space
Brenton or something like that?
whatever the fuck his name is.
Richard Branson or something?
I really think they're testing out like fucking like
They're trying,
pedestrian travel.
yeah, they're
like,
fucking up the earth so bad, yo. They're like, we gotta,
we gotta get out
we
of
gotta
here.
get the fuck out of here.
What they say they just found water on Mars. Like they're really trying to finesse it, bro.
my only thing is,
You don't believe that either? They didn't find no water on
They
Mars.
ain't been to Mars. They ain't been there in the first place.
Yo, if they can't reach the moon, they
They
ain't
ain't
going to
been in
Mars.
So where the fuck
Mars.
is the Virgin Mobile guy going? Like he's just chilling. He's
They
just flying
showing
around?
you. They
Bro,
showing
they
you
probably in the
pictures.
ocean.
And they
Probably
showing
in-
you pictures of some island you've never seen before, and they turning it brown or yellow
Putting,
and telling you it's
yo, they
Mars.
put an Instagram filter on this shit.
Like even if like I went on the NASA website.
Ashton
like,
Kutcher went there. I believe that.
Nah, I don't believe that. He went there. I went on the NASA website a couple weeks ago and I looked at this picture of space or from the Earth from space, and it was literally a picture of the Earth and everything was black.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck are the stars?
I can't
How is there
answer
no
that.
stars?
Billions
in
of
the-
galaxies away.
Yo, maybe, yo, bro.
How can we see the stars from the Earth and you can't see it in the pic? How they get the picture from outside the Earth? One, how there's no stars in the background? Like that don't
Maybe-
make no
yo,
They,
sense.
they took the picture on the moon.
Nah,
So
but
where the
you're not.
stars at?
Yo, you're not getting what he's saying. He's actually.
Where's the
yo,
stars?
yo, he's
Like,
he's making-
if
Who
we can
said,
see
"Where's
it from
the
Earth,
stars?"
where's the stars?
Where's the stars, man? Yo, you're making a valid cause like when you look up in the sky, right, the stars are literally
Right there.
surrounded, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yo, if you were to look like from the moon, looking at the Earth, there should be stars
Where's the
behind
stars?
the Earth.
Where's the stars?
It should be on all sides, yo.
Maybe they just black them out. for contrast.
Why would they do that?
Yeah. I don't
Then that's so now. Why are you editing
Okay,
pictures of the moon and you're telling this
you
is
just blew my
NASA?
mind, yo. You just blew my mind.
What are you doing? Give me
You
something
fucked me up.
natural, man.
You fucked me up. Yo, but maybe your sister's trying to infiltrate that, man.
Maybe she just don't want to tell you.
That's what I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to get her in that mindset. Like, yo, you got to infiltrate that shit. Like,
He's gonna create like a whole fucking mini army, bro. He's gonna make enough money in the NBA to supply her fucking his agenda. He has an inside mole that's gonna be sabotage this whole operation.
Yo,
crumbling the whole shit.
yo, you ever,
It's over.
yo, you ever read the book Behold the Pale Horse?
Nah, what's that?
Oh, you gotta read that shit, man.
Behold
Like,
the pale forest.
Behold the Pale Horse.
Horse.
Do you
okay.
read?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yo, this book is like, it's pretty much like this ex-CIA like employee, right? And he talks about how like aliens are real, like
Mhm.
how the government regularly meets with them, like they have deals with them, like how they could kidnap certain people and do experiments on people. Like, yo, you ever watch that fucking movie with what's his name from This Is Us? That movie,
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele,
yeah.
right? He has that other movie where like it's like that.
Get Out.
Not Get Out, but the one after that shit where he has like the people under like there's just like
With the scissors.
yes,
Tether
Yeah.
one where they're tethered to
Yeah.
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's real
bro.
shit.
Like the guy in the book talks about that
It's
shit
real
where there's
shit.
just like
You think that's real?
That's real shit.
nah,
Yeah.
yo,
But
but that's like what the fucking the show Stranger Things is about. Like there's just like another world,
Black
like
Mirror, too.
exactly. I've never watched Black Mirror. I gotta
Black
watch that
Mirror
shit.
is literally they're doing the same thing in like today's society that they
They're
show us
black,
on
they're
Black
the black,
Mirror.
they're the Black Mirror.
It's,
Yo.
it's creepy. It's
But yeah, yo,
fucking
like
creepy.
the guy talks about that. Yo, read that shit, bro.
Okay.
That shit fuck. Yo, he talks about aliens.
Do you
Yep.
believe in aliens?
What's your definition of an alien?
Like, why do you complicate
Alright,
it? Why do you complicate the question?
So,
Like,
what's your definition of an alien?
I go by the definition. It's somebody from like a foreign country.
Okay, outside of that, like
Extraterrestrial.
yeah,
Somebody that comes from,
extraterrestrial.
yeah, I do. Somebody that comes from outside this physical realm. Yeah,
you believe in that?
for sure.
Okay. Do you believe like so? Would you consider the people the tethered people aliens, or are you considering like
Nah,
the
I think-
typical
I think-
aliens from like
I
space?
think they're
That's
like
clones.
government
I
created.
think those are clones.
Yeah,
Government created clones. They use their DNA.
bro. The dude like
all
talks about
type
that
of
in the
stuff.
book, yo.
Aborted
Like he
fetal
said,
cells, all of that. Yeah.
yo, that's why. Like you know that shit where like they do like they do that DNA test.
Uh-uh.
Like I forgot, it's like 23andMe or something like that,
Mhm.
right? That's why I want to do it.
That don't touch that stuff.
That's something.
Don't
Yo,
fuck-
I feel like nah, yo.
And it's not
He's
even
warning
real.
you against
It's
it,
not.
bro.
They're not gonna tell you who
Yo,
your
'cause I feel
ancestors
like-
are.
If I do that shit right, and they have like all my genetic makeup right, here's why I look at it, right? What if like I feel like all that shit goes to like some supercomputer, right? And now they have everything about you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, what if a billionaire like needs a kidney or some shit, right? And you're the fucking match.
You know what I
Guess who's
thought
going
about?
missing?
That's exactly what's happening in the world, like organ harvesting and shit.
You know, I
Yeah.
thought about that, but I'm thinking about like when you go to get blood work done, they fucking take your blood and like they have your DNA
But
right
they
then
don't
and
run
there.
yo, like most of those places don't run like those type of tests. Like they go like to regular like
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
No, they-
your DNA is in your blood, right?
Mhm.
And then it goes off to like the labs, and then what does labs do with it at that point? Like nobody really knows.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. No, they sell it.
So
to
they
the
could sell it at that point too.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what they do.
whether
I'm
it's
not
my
giving
spit or my
black
blood.
I don't donate blood either. yo.
Nah.
Yeah, but you get fucking test results, and like you get like your annual checkups and shit.
Shut the
To
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Black
Like,
market shit.
You know what I did hear though? I did hear that they were that the 21 and 23andMe or whatever
Mhm.
the fuck it's called was for them to like try how different diseases affect black people or something like that. That's what I
Yeah.
did hear.
It's always something to do with
That they were supposed to be different diseases supposed to affect black people and to see like which ones are more important to black people. Kind of like the Tuskegee trials or some shit like that, similar to that.
Yo, I wanted to do it, right? Because I wanted to see, like, I don't know why, but I feel like my white side is Italian. Like, I feel like the black side's for some reason, like,
Take
I can't do it, yo. I can't do it.
take a
Like,
distant cousin's DNA or some
What?
shit like that. Take a cousin's DNA.
I do my sons.
You gotta sacrifice.
No, that's crazy.
That's wild.
That's what he's saying. That's wild. But
Let me get some spit real quick. Spit, so-
why that?
don't worry about it, man.
It's gonna be all right.
Nah, that's funny. You know, like I said, like even if all of this shit is true, like what is What is it? What does it benefit? Like having the knowledge to say
Knowing
like,
the truth.
yeah, like what is it?
I mean,
what is it going to change for you?
Truth is power,
Truth shall
bro.
set you free.
Yeah.
Okay, so the government right now says you're absolutely right in what you believe. What happens then?
Like who are they saying it to? Just me?
The
Or
general public.
Like they just
That
come,
work.
they just come on TV and just like say like, aliens are real.
Everything is
We
real.
never
Like,
been to the moon.
the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
They're like everything. Like, what if they come on and say all of this is real? Like everything that you
Jesus
guys
is
speculated
black.
was real.
stop going
Like
to
I
work.
feel like at that
that
point,
means stop going to work.
how does that correlate? Like to stop going to work? I think like life
because
just
that
continues.
means that no, it don't. Because they tell us that everything is a lie. That means money is a lie. That means the job you work
Yo,
at is
money's
a
a lie.
lie.
Money's a
That
lie.
means all it is monetary.
Okay, so you
value
stop
is
going
a-
to work. That means you
Stop
stop
doing
getting
everything.
income, and then
what
you
do you
stop
need
eating.
income for?
See-
You can grow food.
You got to get animals. You got to fucking. Where you gonna get the food?
We don't
from?
need to be eating animals.
Okay, so
Food
you.
grows on trees. Fasting is actually fasting. Honestly, too. You don't have to be.
Yo,
we don't have to eat as
I'll
much.
tell
as
you
we
one
do.
thing though, bro. You go to Brazil, like there's fucking fruits and like
Yeah, it
vegetables.
grows really.
Yo, most
But find-
other countries just have that
Find,
shit. Like
find me a fruit tree out this motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying, but-
There's orchards,
Oh,
and that's
yeah,
really
yeah,
it.
for sure.
yo,
Like,
America's like the most corrupt one.
But that's in the cities though. If you go outside, if you go 30 miles from here, you're gonna find open fields and all that. I guarantee you're gonna find stuff in the woods and stuff that naturally grows. Like we have cement roads and all this stuff. Like if we go outside the cities, and there's so much land. I was actually talking to somebody and I was telling them like they always say like, oh, we need to depopulate the earth. There's not enough space for people. Drake said it in the song. If Rick Ross has 235 acres, and that's one man who has one house or whatever he has on that property, that's his
He
property.
been going wild on that shit too.
Like, what the hell? Like, how is there homeless
Yo,
people? How is
honestly,
like,
Yo, I read this shit, yo. They said they could fit like almost the world's population just like
really?
you know
Yeah.
how big Alaska is?
Alaska's huge.
Takes 6 hours to get on a flight from top to bottom.
I've been to Alaska.
Yeah, me
I
too.
went there last year.
Did you go in the summertime?
No, I went there in the fall.
When the summertime is dope.
24-hour days.
Yo, 80 degrees, shirts
Do they
off.
fuck up
Like,
your
yo, they have like crazy shutter blinds.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yo, but they have like it's crazy because they have like 24-hour days, and then like during the winter it's 24-hour nights.
Flatter.
Yo, that's where the vampires live, bro. That's where they go in the fucking.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, I feel like this conversation could go a lot longer. Like,
yeah, for sure.
This is a part 2. We gotta have you back. We got the basketball shit out the way. Yo, next episode is like just straight conspiracy theories, man.
yeah, come up with the list, bro.
No, word.
But yo, bro, thank you for coming on the show,
I
man.
appreciate y'all for
Appreciate
having
you. Yo, thanks. This took a turn. This took a good turn, yo. Yo, like I said, thank you again, man. Yo, good luck with your season
Thank
coming
you.
up, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yo, let us know if your sister makes it the NAS. But
If she does, I'm gonna be in that.
I know you would. All right. As always, please like, comment,